So picture this. You're standing on the deck of an ancient, first-century wooden ship. There's this deafening roar of wind. The deck is violently pitching beneath your feet, and you are surrounded by absolute pitch-black darkness for days on end. The ocean is just relentlessly trying to tear the timbers of your ship completely apart. So how on earth do you survive a 14-day typhoon like this? Especially when you've got absolutely no modern navigation, no rescue helicopters coming for you, and honestly, almost zero hope.
Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking one of the most vividly recorded and frankly terrifying maritime disasters of the ancient world. It's found in the biblical text of Acts chapter 27, and it is an absolute masterclass in survival, chaos, and human endurance. We're going to break down the exact sequence of this catastrophic voyage using the source text just to see exactly how this ancient nautical nightmare actually unfolded.
Okay, so setting the scene here. The year is roughly 60 AD. We've got 276 men packed onto this wooden Egyptian cargo vessel, which was originally bound from Alexandria all the way to Italy. The passenger list? It's a mix. You've got sailors, soldiers, and prisoners, including a man named Paul, who's being escorted by a Roman commanding officer named Julius. And right now, none of them have any idea that they are sailing directly into the deadliest storm of their entire lives.
Section 1. A dangerous decision.
So it's late fall, right? And the weather is getting incredibly dangerous for sea travel. They've already struggled just to reach this port on the island of Crete called Fair Havens. Now, Paul actually warns the ship's officers. He tells them that continuing is going to bring absolute disaster, shipwreck, and loss of life. But Fair Havens is pretty exposed to the elements, and despite the stark warnings, the crew is just desperate to reach a better winter harbor. So they wait for an opening, and suddenly, this gentle south wind begins to blow. Now, this is the ultimate false hope. Deceived by this perfect light breeze, the sailors think, hey, we can easily make it. They pull up the anchor, they start sailing close to the shore, but that gentle breeze, it was a total lie.
Section 2. The monster awakens.
Almost immediately, the weather turns with just terrifying speed. That gentle breeze vanishes, and this monstrous, violent force slams into the vessel. I mean, the ship is instantly overpowered. The sailors try to turn the heavy wooden bow into the wind to fight it, but the gale is completely overwhelming. They literally have to lose all control, surrender to the storm, and just let the ship be wildly driven. The text actually gives this monstrous force a name, a northeaster. We're talking about a sudden wind of absolute typhoon strength that just bursts down across Crete. It acts like a massive atmospheric hammer, violently blowing the ship out into the terrifying deep sea.
Section 3. Descent into darkness. At this point, there's literally nowhere to run. Trapped inside this groaning wooden shell, the crew resorts to a desperate countdown for survival, while gale force winds batter them relentlessly. The ship is pitching and rolling so violently, it's become nothing more than a helpless toy tossed in these towering waves. Every single agonizing minute is a fight just to keep the vessel from splitting wide open. So step 1, they physically bind ropes entirely around the hull of the ship, literally tying it together to keep the wooden planks from bursting apart. Step 2, fearing they'll be blown into these deadly sandbars off the African coast, they lower the sea anchor to drag and hopefully slow their momentum. Step 3, the very next day, things are so bad they frantically begin throwing their precious cargo overboard. And step 4, by the third day, the crew is literally throwing the ship's own essential gear into the raging ocean with their bare hands. I mean, they are stripping away absolutely everything just to stay afloat.
As the days just sort of blur together, the situation builds into absolute despair. Look at the timeline here. Day 1, they leave Crete. Day 2, the storm hits and the cargo goes. But look at day 4 and beyond. The terrible storm just keeps raging for days. The sky goes completely black. Thick storm clouds blot out the sun during the day, and the stars at night. And remember, with no celestial bodies to navigate by, they are flying completely blind in a typhoon. The text explicitly states that for a really long time, no one had even eaten, and finally, all hope of survival was completely gone.
Now, it's in this exact moment of pitch-black starvation and terror that the source text highlights this eerie, almost unexplainable calmness. Paul stands up among these starving, terrified men and delivers this message. Take courage. None of you will lose your lives, even though the ship will go down. According to the account, Paul claims an angel of God appeared to him, assuring him that while they are inevitably going to shipwreck on an island, every single life will be spared. It's just this stunning contrast, Total physical chaos met with complete internal conviction.
Section 4. The 14th night.
So by now, they have been blown entirely across the Mediterranean into the Sea of Adria.
The storm hasn't stopped, the wind hasn't stopped, and that brings us to this absolutely crucial number, 14. 14 unbroken nights of a typhoon. Think about that. 14 nights of violent seasickness, starvation, freezing rain, and plunging through churning water in total suffocating darkness. The sheer physical and mental exhaustion of these 276 men at this point is almost unimaginable.
And the nightmare just accelerates in the pitch black. Through the violent roar of the waves, the sailors suddenly sense land. They drop a weighted line into the water and find it's 120 feet deep. A little later, they measure it again, 90 feet. The ocean floor is rising rapidly in the pitch black. They realize they are hurtling blindly toward shore. Terrified that they are going to be smashed to pieces against jagged rocks in the dark, they frantically drop 4 massive anchors from the back of the ship to drag and stop their momentum, and then they just desperately pray for daylight.
This is where panic completely takes over. In a desperate act of self-preservation, the professional sailors attempt a mutiny. Under the guise of lowering anchors from the front of the ship, they actually start lowering the only lifeboat into the raging sea so they can escape. But Paul spots it. He tells the commanding officer, "You will all die unless the sailors stay aboard." So, in a split-second decision, the Roman soldiers take their swords, hack right through the ropes, and let the empty lifeboat drift away into the darkness. So now they are truly all in this together. There's absolutely no escape.
Just as dawn finally begins to break on this terrifying scene, 276 cold, exhausted, terrified souls remain trapped on board. Paul urges them to eat for their survival, reminding them they literally haven't touched food in 2 weeks. He takes some bread, gives thanks, and eats. Encouraged by this, all 276 men finally break their fast together. And then, in one last push, they throw their remaining cargo of wheat right into the sea to make the ship as light as humanly possible for what is about to happen.
Section 5. The shipwreck.
As morning light finally breaks, they look out and spot an unrecognized coastline with a bay and a beach. This is it. This is their one chance. So they execute this high-stakes, all-or-nothing maneuver to intentionally crash the ship. Step 1. They cut the 4 heavy anchors completely free, just leaving them behind in the sea. Step 2. They untie and lower the rudders so they can steer. Step 3. They hoist the foresail to catch those intense typhoon winds. And Step 4. They drive that massive wooden ship directly toward the beach at absolute maximum speed.
Impact. But they don't actually make it to the beach. They hit a hidden sandbar, a shoal, way too soon. The front of the ship, the bow, violently plunges right into the sand and sticks completely fast. It's totally immovable. Meanwhile, behind them, those massive typhoon-driven waves are just relentlessly slamming into the back of the ship. The stern begins to violently splinter, crack, and break apart under the immense, crushing power of the ocean.
But the danger isn't just the water. The soldiers instantly realize that if the ship breaks apart, the prisoners are going to swim ashore and escape, which was an offense punishable by death for the guards. So they draw their weapons, literally plotting to execute every single prisoner right there in the crashing waves. But Julius, the Roman commanding officer, wants to spare Paul. So in a single split-second leadership decision, he halts the execution and orders everyone to abandon ship.
Absolute chaos erupts as the vessel disintegrates. Julius orders those who can swim to dive into the violent surf first. The rest follow desperately. Some are clinging to heavy wooden planks, others are holding on to jagged debris torn right off the breaking ship, paddling, kicking, fighting the undertow. And remarkably, exactly as predicted, every single one of the 276 men makes it safely through that deadly surf and onto the shore.
We've seen a ship completely stripped of its cargo, its gear, its anchors, and finally its very structure. The historical account of Acts 27 is this incredible testament to endurance in the face of absolute chaos. So it really leaves us with this final question to think about. When the storm strips absolutely everything away, what keeps you anchored?